folks, this is your producer, Diana Paparosi, and pilot of the character Reagan Kayam. I had a quick disclaimer before we get into this episode, so if you could indulge me for just a moment, and then we'll get started. This episode is not actually the original recording of this session. We actually lost our DM's audio from this session, and while I was able to salvage it from the background noise of my audio, it sounded really bad. So what we did is we transcribed it and then we recreated it. So that's what you're about to hear is a recreation of our first session, and that will be what the next episode is, and then we'll have a few that are regular episodes for a bit, and then you'll have 2 or 3 more that are re-records because we lost like 2 or 3 months worth of content. And he had one on a laptop. Anyway, it's a long story. The very short version is this is a recreation. We may eventually make the originals available, but we thought this would be a much more pleasant listening experience that didn't feel like your head was in a blender. So thanks for your patience, and with that, I'm going to let Andrew take it away.
There were many stories here in the city of Hintila. A champion burdened with a mantle unasked for yet given freely. A hungry ghoul of a man, his face taut in a frozen grin, and the criminals who would cross his path soon. A pair of brothers trying to bear the weight of their father's name. There were, of course, other stories in other lands. Some that would yield little, some that would drag the world to its knees. But here, in the last jewel of a crumbling empire, were a few of these stories. What effect they will have, however, is yet to be written. Stories such as these, who can say how they will shake the world? Who's to say in times like these?
So, welcome, and let's get started. Recently, you have all found yourselves coming to the city of Hintila, in the Grand Duchy of the same name. It is in the southwestern corner of the Aminor Empire, a human empire on the decline ever since a climactic battle and a cataclysmic event 100 years ago, known as the Splintering of the Plain. Since then, breakaway nations and kingdoms have been common.
Quite frankly, throughout all this, Hintila has managed to retain its status as a jewel of the Empire, and at this point many look to it as the de facto capital. Even though the Emperor does not hold residence here, many think that, should the Empire collapse, this will be where the new Empire is formed.
But for now, Hintila is still nominally under the control of the greater Aminor Empire. Every 5 years, they elect a Grand Duke or Duchess through voting of the city's gentry and landed nobility. And you all know that in a couple of months, it will complete the year-long build-up to the next election. The current Grand Duke has been in power for almost 15 years now. His name is Archduke Erwin von Tepler, a ruthless, efficient, and overall conservative noble. You all, however, have no real interest in any of this. For the most part, you are running from something or running for something. You don't have much time for the wealthy people, so instead you found your way to Hintila for your various goals. Some of you fleeing from something, some of you just looking to drown your sorrows in the cups. However, last night each of you were arrested. Some of you for just cause, some of you for seemingly no reason at all. You were all dragged to Hintila's, essentially their top secret lockup. As you all come to in the morning, you find yourselves in what essentially amounts to 3 dingy cells. Some of you have been accustomed to this, having been no stranger to this place in the past, but this is different. There are no windows out. There is only the single hallway stretching further down. 4 guards stand at what looks to be the only exit here. And further down, you can see firelight at the edge of the hallway, accompanied by the sound of laughter and drinks. You assume more guards. You see, other than you, there are 3 other occupied cells. On your side, you all look over and see each other, and across from you is the shape of a man. He is snoring loudly, curled on a mound of hay. You can almost detect the faint scent of wine that drinks from him. So, would you each like to describe your character and what the others see?
Sure. My character is Brika Cha. She is a kobold. So if you look into her cell, you will see a small reptilian form
Wow.
in sort of baggy clothes. She has a headscarf on,
Uh,
and I'll just add she's sort of reddish.
yeah.
Get that? She's like a reddish scaled kobold.
Cool.
Cool beans.
Cool. So Reagan is very built, 5'8", kind of a stocky person. She's obviously, she's not short, but she's not particularly tall. And she's got kind of golden brown skin, human, dark auburn hair, face just covered in scars. And she looks like real pissed off, and she's kind of tapping her heels as she sits on the floor and just kind of glaring at the bars as if she's trying to melt them with her mind. She can't. She's a fighter.
But you don't know. But the rest of you don't know that. For all you know, she's
Yeah,
she's
for all
like
you know, she is a super buff magician.
Yeah.
Curled up in a very far-flung corner of his cell, almost like he's, like, trying to run away from the bars. Like, if I go any further back into this wall, like, maybe I'll go through it, is, one Montague Pensmith, who looks like the kind of rich nerd who has never been arrested a day in his life. And, he seems to be, like, muttering to himself and, like, checking all of his pockets.
Spoiled millennial.
Spoiled millennial brat, yeah. He's got huge round glasses and this like just wild shock of black hair, just poofy hair, pretty deep tan skin, and clothes that are way too nice to be in, like what he thinks is a drunk tank.
So, it is currently dim indoors. The guards seem to be observant, but they're not paying you all the most apt attention. They know there's only one way in and one way out. The snoring continues from the man across the, in the cell across the way. You can't quite make him out. He's sort of currently curled into a ball, but do any of you wish to do anything as you wait here?
I assume we don't have our shit with us.
Correct. As you were taken by the Hintila, City Guard, they did remove all of your effects, your belongings. They left you with your clothes. Maybe you were able to hide like one or two things on you, one or two personal effects.
Okay. Reagan's gonna stand up and walk up to the bars and punch him real hard.
Can you roll a strength check for me?
Yes I can. That is a 19.
Okay, so you, Monty and Brika, you see this rather ripped human sort of sigh, stand up, wind up, and just punch the shit out of the bar. Now these aren't these aren't necessarily like thin bars. However, you notice two things about it. One, the bar bends a little bit, and number two, her hand does not break upon punching them.
That's why they call her Reagan Metal Hands.
What the hell?
At that, you hear a voice from further down say, "Hey, knock that off."
And she says, "Hey, if you could come up with a better way to get that asshole to stop snoring, I'd love to hear it. And not hear him. Please shut him up. Please."
Please.
There's a pause and then a sigh. And one of the guards walks forward. He's got a spear and a short sword at his hip, a shield over his back. He's wearing a helmet and what looks to be like a chain shirt. He stands in front of the snoring man's cell and just sort of prods him with the butt of the spear and says, "Hey, keep it down. Disturbing the peace." And a voice says,
"I think that's why I was here in the first place. So go fuck yourself."
That'll show him.
And at that, the guard winds back the spear and slams the butt of it into the man's chin. You hear a crack.
I don't think you'd be quite as brave if you were in here with me.
And with that, the guard rolls his eyes and walks back.
That was excessive. Reagan doesn't seem to care and sits back down.
Because the snoring has stopped.
Yeah.
Jeez.
The man rubs his jaw. Does anyone else do anything?
Well, after that display, Monty kind of, like, scrambles up to the bars, like, So let me just understand this. The bars between the cells are also transparent, and he can see the other people.
Yeah, there's space between the bars.
Okay, so he scrambles up to the bars between them and kind of like ducks low and grabs onto them, and he's like, "Hey, what are you guys in here for? Do you know what's going on?"
Felony assault and battery.
Oh my god.
You would have to ask the guards.
What, you got memento disease?
I am here because of prejudice and a miscarriage of justice.
Oh. At least I deserve it.
Wait, are you like a really tiny dragonborn?
Dude, that's racist.
I mean, I know it is, but I don't know what I'm looking at here.
Sure.
So Monty's gonna go into Draconic and say, "Hey, can you, do you know anything that can get us out of here?"
I mean, I could conceivably break out. Brink is gonna have to check to see what tools she has left after things were confiscated.
Everything I have is missing. And one thing, he switches back to common in the middle of this, like he's not even thinking about it. Everything I have is missing, and I need to get my book back. It's vitally important.
Aw, why don't you have your mommy come bail you out, Mr. Moneybags? Also, it's rude to speak another language when someone in the room doesn't understand you.
Apologies.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's the kind of respect that Reagan Metal Hands deserves.
Is her last name really Metal Hands?
No, her last name is Kyle.
Okay.
She wishes it were Metal Hands.
Yeah, she was like, fucking jacked as hell.
Yeah, that's what
She
Reagan
sounds
sounds like. That's exactly what she
That's
sounds.
what she sounds like, yeah.
Yeah.
I hear Reagan shredded. I heard she's got a 9-pack. And I realize now that it was an 8-pack and not a 9-pack, and as
Sometimes
yeah.
people just have like an extra pack or
Reagan just has an extra ab on top of the rest of them. It's asymmetrical.
Yeah, Michael has that actually.
Actually, it's a tumor.
You need to get that checked out. Anyway,
I was insulting your mother. Go on.
that's right. Yes. Yes. So, why doesn't my mommy come and bail me out? Well, the thing is, she's dead, so that would be a problem. But, setting that aside.
Oh, is that what you're in for?
What? What, killing my mother? No, she's been dead since I was a child.
Oh, that sucks.
He, does not show any appropriate emotion about this.
Sounds like something that someone who killed their mother would say. Reagan doesn't say that. That was Diana.
Okay. Anyway, I need the book. The book is it's vitally important.
Did you steal it? Is that what you're in here for? Because we told you what we're in here for. It only seems fair.
Monty thinks for a second, and then just kind of barrels forward. I don't know why I'm here. They told me that I was resisting arrest, and they just showed up in my library and took me away.
Sounds about right.
Same.
At least I deserve it. Squares. Candy ass mother. Anyway, Reagan looks disgusted with all of you. Nerds.
I probably deserve that.
Yeah, I wouldn't have said it if you didn't.
If you help me get out of here, I can pay you. I can pay you a lot.
Like a lot?
Like a lot. We have to get my book back from the guards. I assume we need to get your effects as well. He kind of gestures to Kobold Girl like, you looked a little more panicked than Reagan does.
Kobold
I mean, hey,
woman.
if he's paying Reagan, then she figures she can just buy new stuff.
That's fair. Well, I need to get my book back from these guards, and then we need to get back to, Andrew, what's the name of the library?
The Grand Library of Hintila.
Okay, so we need to get back to the Grand Library, and then...
Clarifying question, rich boy. I assume you know we're all in the same room as the guards you're trying to outsmart right now? And they can hear you.
Can they hear me, Andrew?
Roll a stealth check to see how quiet you're being.
Is it a 1?
It's a 7.
Yeah. So,
As Reagan points this out, the guard says,
Yeah, not exactly subtle.
I like this guy. He gets it. Is this the same guy who broke the other guy's jaw?
yeah.
She extra likes this guy.
Monty turns like a deep red to the tips of his ears and immediately abandons the two of you and throws himself up against the bars like,
Nice knowing you, kid.
Listen, could you at least tell me why I'm here?
Reagan indulges in a deep belly laugh.
I would also like to know the charges that are arrayed against me.
Says the drunk. And the guard says,
Wait your damn time. There'll be a little bit to the higher-ups can come and get a look at you. They're all in pretty deep.
Seems fair.
Pretty deep? I haven't done anything!
Yes, I've also done nothing.
I mean, I think you've got drunk in public on your record, dude. You are drunk in public. Like, we can all see that.
That's fair enough.
Brika, would you like to try anything?
Well, Brika would like to talk to the guards, but she knows better. If they're not going to listen to rich boy money pants
And drunk boy.
and drunk. I mean, drunk boy aside, money pants over here looks like a semi-respectable customer, and they don't want anything to do with him, so they're not going to want anything to do with her. Andrew, you said we had our stuff confiscated. Do we have anything left over?
I mean, you said personal effects, like anything specific?
So, Brika, based on your background and your sleight of hand, you know what to do when this sort of thing happens. So can you roll a sleight of hand check, and retroactively we'll see if you were able to keep any of your thieves' tools.
So it's a 20, like a modified 20.
Oh, hooray!
Yeah, so while they were... part of it is the guards are mostly human, so they weren't like familiar with kobold anatomy. While
The tertiary pockets.
yeah, like
Details.
that extra, like those extra scale pockets. So while they were taking the more obvious and dangerous accoutrements that you had, knives, darts, you actually managed to slide 3 lockpicks into sort of like a flap under the scales.
Your tertiary belly button.
Right.
So you actually have access to thieves' tools. Once which you've used once or twice before. You don't have your whole kit, but you have enough that you can get the job done.
Okay, all right. Okay, so Brika's going to sort of wave Monty over and try to get his attention and try to get him to the side of the cell so that they can hopefully speak stealthily enough.
In Draconic.
Okay.
Well,
I think you managed to catch him between like sighing fits, and he realizes, and he like scrambles back over.
Reagan is in between.
Reagan is in between Monty and Brika's cells, and Brika is the furthest. Brika is the furthest from the guards.
Okay.
Monty is the closest to the exit.
Gotcha.
Okay.
So Reagan in the middle.
Yeah.
Reagan in the middle.
And
Yeah.
Reagan is here too.
And like,
Okay.
you're maybe like 5 cells down from like the actual guards. Like they're not actively listening to you or like peering in at you.
It's just that Monty has Katie's voice, and Katie is like the loudest motherfucker on the planet.
I mean, I'm pretty loud myself. I would argue with that. But yes. So they're not like peering in and like going like oh, they're planning a breakout because
Yeah, they're not seeing our
right,
commiserating and our monkey shines.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Brika going up to the bars, waving over, being sneaky like, okay, so I can probably get us out of here. The cages, I mean.
I was hoping that was what you meant. I mean, off this mortal coil, I could do that.
I mean, I'd rather not.
Yes, I think we can all agree. But I don't know about the guards.
Oh, I got that.
If we were to all agree, I can also help guards.
If nothing else, you can throw him at the guards.
Well,
Okay.
I mean, I can help. I just can't excessively help, and I don't really do subtlety.
Okay, listen, fancy boy. You stay to the back, protect yourself. protect our investment, and we will get you to safety.
Yeah, boss, we got it, but you should make a distraction while she opens the cages, probably?
Yes.
Yes, I can do a distraction as well.
Oh, good. I mean, you're real good at that so far. What is your name? Hey, hold on. What's any of your names?
Me? Sorry, Nimian Flatfoot, they call me.
Nimian. Okay, cool. I'm gonna call you Flatfoot, Dragon Lady.
Not the dragon. I am Brika-cha.
Brika-cha. I'm gonna call you Bree.
Sure.
And
Your name is Boss.
Montague Pensmith, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Boss. I'm Reagan.
Okay.
You can call me Reagan.
Big lady.
Works too.
Ronald. Got it, Ronald.
Sure.
So, are we going to do this now? Because, I don't want to be here. I don't do well in prisons.
I mean, I don't have to pay him too, do I?
If you
Rude.
got me a bottle of something, I would be grateful. I tend to go through my own money rather quickly.
Wonder why.
Yeah.
Oh, I drink a lot.
Yeah, I can see that.
What?
I never would have guessed. Okay, so we're doing this?
Yeah.
Alright, so I'm gonna try and bust out of this cell.
Okay, yeah. So, first roll a sleight of hand check to see how subtle you are about it.
Well, wasn't Flatfoot making a distraction?
Oh, so you wanted me to make a,
Yeah, that's what he volunteered to do. Keep up.
Okay. So, Nimian sort of begins singing loudly a shanty which some of you may have heard, or Monty, you probably haven't, but the others you've heard it around the various bars near the docks.
Why are you gonna call me out about this?
You're because
you're a nerd.
of your backstory, and you know you know you don't hang out in like seedy dive bars. You spent like months in a library.
Yeah.
But the song, it is loud, it is bawdy, and it is very, very particular to the mothers of the guards.
Beautiful. Mwah! Chef kiss.
At that, the guards begin to grow sort of visibly agitated, and one of them sighs and begins walking forward, once more pulling out and lifting up his spear. Give me your sleight of hand check with advantage now, because he's causing a distraction for you.
Okay. That was a 17.
Okay. He does not notice this as he walks forward. Roll to use your thieves' tools.
That's a 5.
Plus 8. 13.
You feel you're moving it through, and you can hear it. You can just feel the tumbler begin to give, and then you hear a snap.
Reagan kicks the bars to cover the sound. I'm helping.
So he does not notice. He does not hear the snap, but he hears the kick and says, "If you tell me to do to you what I'm about to do to him, keep it down."
Reagan just shrugs.
Yeah, so you have 2 lockpicks left because one is broken, so you can try again.
Alright. How are the bars on Reagan's cell looking after she punched and kicked them?
So Reagan's very strong.
Hey.
These are still iron. They're as thick as a quarter, so Reagan is like... It would take Reagan the better part of an hour just, like, pounding on them to bend them.
Yeah, the first one was just a real good roll.
Has the guard returned to his previous position?
No, the guard walks over and he just slams the butt of his spear once more against Nimian, just right in the solar plexus.
Oh, I don't like that.
Yeah, there's a crunch, and Nimian stumbles back, and he looks up with a little bit of like a weak cough, and he says,
Once again, I would recommend that you step in here with me, and then we can say out.
and then another just butt of the spear right between the eyes, just and he tumbles back.
Yeah, Brika, you gotta take the opportunity to try again?
I'm gonna try again.
Okay, and what'd you roll?
That is a 24.
24.
Yes!
Yeah, you see him go to beginning to slam the spear butt in, and as it does, you time it just so that you can just click, and the lock opens just as he's slamming it into Nemia's face.
Yes!
Man.
At that, the guard turns to all of you, and he says, "Now keep it down," and he walks back.
Whatever you say, officer.
Your door, Brika, is currently open.
Open or unlocked?
Unlocked. I assume you didn't just unlock it and open it right into the guard like, hey!
No, I didn't swing it open, smacking him in the face.
And
It wasn't
killing
like
him
a
instantly.
Yeah, it wasn't like a Chicago, like, it wasn't like a
He
Chicago
had
style.
it
Yeah. And he's just like, well, legally they're allowed musical numbers. That's just the law.
Okay.
In Hintila, not dancing is a crime. It's reverse
Oh,
footloose
no.
situation.
Ooh, reverse footloose.
Okay, so I'm gonna cast Minor Illusion and make it sound like a big burly man like losing his shit over something, about like make it sound echoey so it's down the hallway and a ways away.
Okay, let me see here. Yeah, so... Okay, roll a sleight of hand check for me to see if the act of doing this isn't obvious.
Hey, that's a modified 17.
Okay. So, the guard, as soon as the sound of someone screaming in panic echoes from the back, and three of the guards, they go, what the hell was that? The guard is walking back. He says, shit, just leave him. And he just bolts. All three of them go together, and they run. You hear further down the sound of like clanking glass and like laughter, and there's some sort of frantic sounds, and then there is just bootsteps as more and more of them run to investigate the noise. Currently, from what you can tell, you are all alone, and Brika, your door is open.
All right. Brika is going to carefully, quietly step out of her cell.
I'm assuming they didn't leave the keys.
There are no visible keys where... so in here, however, like at the end of that hallway, there is a turn, and that's where you saw the light from. And there could be keys down there.
Gotcha.
All right. Then I guess I'm going to get to work trying to break out my fellow prisoners.
And who are you starting with?
Reagan, in case someone comes back and she needs to punch them.
Fair.
That's fair.
She comes over. Reagan says, good choice.
Hang tight the money pants.
No problem.
That's another 24.
Yeah.
Jeez.
It just clicks open.
Yes.
And you feel the handle, click as you pull it.
Is there anything in here I can use as like an improvised weapon, by the way? Like torches or anything? Or...
Yeah, no.
Okay, just checking. So 2 more locks.
Okay, now to Monty.
13 again.
This time just another snap.
Eek. Oh, okay.
Okay.
No worries, money pants. We will get you out.
Reagan, she's going to put an encouraging hand on Rika's shoulder, and I believe in you. You're welcome.
That genuinely means a lot.
Oh. Cool.
Look at
That's
that.
cool,
There's
I guess.
There's actual like human connection here.
Wow.
Wait a minute, human connection.
Oh,
Dun
shit.
dun. Well,
I mean, a
Cobalt
human
connection.
did make a connection.
The Cobalt connection.
I did say that
Okay.
Hintila legally allowed, like, you are entitled to your musical numbers. I did say that.
That's true.
That is
Yes.
canon. That is canon.
Oh my gosh,
Yes.
that is canon.
Finally.
We are going to abuse this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, gonna try again with the last lock.
23.
Oh yeah, that'll do it.
Yes!
It clicks and swings open.
Whoosh.
You want to try Mr. Drunkface? Flatfoot?
I mean...
I mean,
okay.
He did the distraction.
Nimian just like coughs a little bit, like sort of like a wet, like weak cough.
I mean, Reagan can pick him up if he's not doing well. Or worst case scenario, she can break off one of his arms and use that as a weapon.
The former would be preferable for me.
That was out of character, and
Oh,
a
okay.
character voice would probably help with that.
Maybe.
It's a 2.
Well, 2 plus 8, so like a 10.
All
but,
right. No, it the last lockpick fails.
can she lockpick without it? Like, just like without her modifier?
I was gonna ask if she could use her claws.
Roll with disadvantage.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, okay. So granted, if this doesn't work, it's gonna hurt.
16.
Okay. So you push your claw in, and you've done this before, so you know how these locks work. You've just unlocked like 3 of these locks, so you can sort of feel it. Your nail, your claw beginning to strain back. You can feel it pulling, and there's a moment of tension where you start to pull it back, and then you just muscle through it, and it opens.
Hey.
So cool.
Nice job.
Nimian steps out, and you can see there are bruises spreading on where he's been hit. His shirt is sort of like a very low collar, and you can see that sort of bruise blossoming out, flowering from his solar plexus, the one between his eyes and his chin. But he seems in relatively good spirits.
Okay, Monty still looks horrified and guilty.
Reagan kind of gives him a once-over, looks him up and down, and she's like, you good?
I'll be better when I have a drink in me, but for now, I'm good, I think.
Cool. Reagan walks out and kind of pokes her head around that corner, somewhat stealthily, I suppose, if I must.
You see there are no people, other than a single woman sitting at a table.
Single woman, is she hot?
We're about to get into that. There are
Some.
currently 4 chairs also arranged around this table. There are signs that there was once some sort of dice game there. There are coins in the middle of the table. There's a low fire burning, and there are 2 wall sconces with torches. So this woman sitting there, she does not look like a guard. She is dressed in very fine clothing, and she has curled black hair.
Oh, good. So she's like humanoid. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, she is even. Well, to be fair, we just established that Monty doesn't know what kobolds are, so maybe he doesn't know what humans are. We got to make sure.
Yeah, he's just a lonely half elf, trying to make it.
So
in
she's
the world.
human, and she's sort of slender, and she's watching as the 4 of you walk out, and she says, "Well, it's about time you got out of there."
Reagan walks over to the table, and she grabs one of the chairs, turns it around like she's a youth pastor, sits on it backwards, and says, "So, what are we playing?"
A very dangerous game.
Hey friends, thank you so much for coming to this, our first episode of Masks and Martyrs. I'm realizing now I probably sound really perky to be over this music, but, here we are. This is your producer, Diana, and the pilot of Reagan Kayam, and I have some housekeeping and plugs to take care of. So first of all, if you are enjoying our show, we would love if you could leave us a review on iTunes or wherever you're listening and subscribe to the podcast so you never miss an episode. You can also download us to take us on the go. We will be releasing every other Wednesday starting today, and we are doing everything based on word of mouth right now, so your listening and potentially sharing with a friend, hint hint, goes a long way. We appreciate you being here and discovering this world along with us. We're super passionate about this project, and we were super excited to share it, so we hope you're enjoying it. If you want to talk to us about it, you can follow us on Twitter at Masks and Martyrs or tweet using the hashtag Masks and Martyrs. We would love to hear from you. Also, if you like this show, you might be interested in the other podcasts on the brand new Nerdification Media Network at nerdification.media. You can find all of our podcasts there and all of our musical projects as well, and we'll be updating that pretty regularly. We actually just got a new podcast partner, which is available to listen to on our website, Generation Fangirl, hosted by my good friend Peony, and it is a podcast about growing up geek as a girl in the 80s and 90s, and my friend Peony hosts that with her friend Caro. So yeah, give them a listen. We would sure appreciate it. And last but not least, I wanted to give some credit for my music on this episode. Our intro is Threads of Fate by Diana Paparosi, who is me. Our mid-roll music is Kevin MacLeod's Dreamlike, and you can find his website in the description of this episode. And our ending theme, which you'll be hearing shortly, is Mary Meet Meg by Hopper and the Books on Tape. And you can find her Twitter for more information in the description. With that, I'm going to return you to the podcast, and yeah, thanks for stopping by.
So Monty's made it in by now, and he's like, "We're playing! Get the fuck out of here!"
That is another good one. One of my favorites, but for now, I think you'll want to hear about this particular game I'm offering.
Yeah, do you have anything I can hit stuff with, like, before we go any further? Ma'am?
Oh, I'm certain I can provide you with equipment.
Cool.
Do you have my equipment?
I do, Montague.
Are you why they're in jail? Because I know how I got here.
Yes, I would like to know.
I brought you here.
Cool.
For what reason?
I don't know if any of you know, but my name is Anastasia Minata. I am something of an important woman in this city.
Mm-hmm.
And I have need of a few choice individuals with some degree of plausible deniability, but who have the skills to take care of a task for me.
What kind of task we talking? What kind of money we talking?
Each of you, should you complete this job for me, you will receive 100 gold pieces. Which, in this world, just, like, silver is the standard.
Okay.
So each, 100 silver pieces is equal to, 10 gold pieces in a normal campaign. In this one, it's 100 silver is equal to 1 gold piece. So,
okay.
Right now, she's offering you 10,000 gold in normal D&D terms.
Nice.
If all goes well.
Cool. I'm in.
I have a lot more questions before we get there.
Who's we? I'm in.
Okay, you don't... Okay.
Anyway, you ask your questions. I'm ready to go whenever. And she just kind of cracks her neck and starts playing solitaire on the table, or whatever, she can... Whatever kind of game she can make happen with what's left over on the table.
Okay. First of all, who are you?
As I said, my name is Anastasia Minata. Roll a history check for me.
Ha-ha! History! Damn it!
Oh, Monty.
God. Okay, it was an 8, but I do have the +5 modifier, so that's a 13.
That is, okay, so the name Anastasia Minata has been on the lips of many. Anastasia Minata is one of the 5 most powerful nobles in the city. All other smaller nobility sort of falls into these 5 different camps, and she is someone whose father died around 2 years ago. She ascended to the seat and is... she's seen as something of a radical. She believes in she's positioning herself to run for the position of Grand Duchess, unseating Erwin von Templar, and if the rumors are to be believed, she would declare independence from the Aminor Empire.
Does Reagan know any of that if I rolled a 10?
You know that Anastasia Minata wants independence.
Cool. And do I know she's running against Erwin mostly?
Yes.
Cool. Reagan trusts her implicitly and continues stacking dice.
So, Anastasia Minata, that is my name.
You know an awful lot. Well, no. I don't know what you know about us. Not many people actually know my name. They just know me as the book kid.
I was calling you boss until a few minutes ago. That's a step up.
Money pants.
She's my boss now.
I prefer Boss Money Pants, let me tell you.
It seems you are a man of many titles.
We bonded in there.
Does that seem to have, like, more behind it, Andrew?
Roll an insight check for me.
I rolled a 5.
This woman is fucking inscrutable.
Oh.
But no, you're not able to detect any further information from her, any further insight.
Okay, he's gonna play it careful then.
She says, but I know you as Montague Pensmith. You are someone who spends much time in the Grand Library, and for the most part you are something of an enigma. But you are someone who has certain skills, which is one of the reasons why I sent one of the guard wizards when they apprehended you.
Yeah, I noticed that. That was, how should I say this? Fucking terrifying?
Reagan raises her hand for a second.
Yes?
So, like, you definitely needed me also, right? Because I'm the only person here who, like, did something, so I just wanted to make sure there wasn't a mix-up. I still want to do the job, just want to make sure I'm qualified and not just some rando that the police drug it, just...
You're someone who slots in rather nicely to what I was planning. There were a number of candidates who could have suited my needs.
Okay, cool. Hey, got the job after the interview? No problem. She goes back to playing with her dice.
And Miss Cha? You're no stranger to the wrong side of the law.
That is an unfair assertion.
Oh, completely unfair. However, you do have certain skills which would be very valuable here. And perhaps, if all goes well, as I hope it will with this job, you can find your way out of these cells, and there will be no charges. You will simply leave with a nice sum of money.
There should not have been charges in the first place.
You're right. But we don't live in a perfect world, Miss Cha. None of us do.
I mean, Mr. Moneypants, maybe.
He's in jail too.
I certainly don't need money. What on earth does this do for me?
Well, on the one hand, you'll get to exit the city without every single guard on lookout, without...
She's blackmailing you, dude.
Without guard mages scanning every single exiting citizen for a trace of magic.
Dude, do you not know when you're being threatened? Just take the job.
Believe me, you'll want to be on this job.
Fine.
It's where all the cool kids are. Reagan just points to herself with thumb.
God. Okay.
And you, Mr. Flatfoot, I believe you as well will find the terms amenable. You all noticed him sit next to you a while back. He's been uncharacteristically quiet, and now he says,
Don't suppose I have much of a choice, do I? It's that or rot.
yes, that or rot.
Charming.
But she pulls out 4 pieces of sealed parchment, and she slides one to each of you. And she says, these are certain details which will be vital to each of you in your tasks. However, in the grand scheme of things, what I'm asking you to do is break into the residence of the Grand Duke Erwin von Templer.
I'm in.
Currently, the Grand Duke is out in the muster grounds. He's preparing the armies of Hintila to march against the breakaway kingdom of Quames to stymie his position as best he can. Because right now he knows he's going to lose to me in the election. So we need to do something to shake him.
You want me to kill him while I'm at it? I've done worse jobs.
He's not there.
Erwin von Templer is not there.
Well, no, I mean, just, I could go wait for him. I don't got anything to do tomorrow.
Oh, you can do whatever you want as long as it doesn't get back to me.
Oh, cool.
But this particular task requires something of a semblance of stealth.
Okay.
So, there is within the vault a small enough thing. It is a ceremonial scroll to nominate the newly elected Grand Dukes and Duchesses. It is to be presented at the Von Templer Ball in 2 weeks' time, and should it be missing, would go very far to show just how far the Duke has fallen. After all, if he can't protect our most sacred relics, can he really protect Hintila?
And you think that'll be enough to unseat him?
Oh, no. I've found that grand gestures never turn out well enough. The late Lord Limpter found that out, so... No. At the end of the day, what's most important are the small advantages, the small ways. After all, the best way to kill a great beast is by 1,000 tiny cuts rather than with a single spear thrown.
I haven't had that experience. What are you hunting with? What kind of spear is it? I mean, I can probably help you with it. You might just be throwing it wrong.
Pardon me, Miss Reagan, but you have never hunted Erwin von Tepler.
I mean, I didn't say that.
And after this job, though, you're more than welcome to.
I probably will, honestly. Because, I mean, you know, as long as I'm trying to get into his house without him noticing, I mean, it feels like kind of a waste of time otherwise, that's all I'm saying.
For now, I will leave you with these. There is a side door down the hall. It will lead you to a rather private access, reserved for the highest nobility in the city. It is the third sconce on your left. If you pull it, the door will open, and you will find yourselves above the ground. Now, in terms of actually entering into the Von Tepler residence, the best way to do it is through the Grand Library, which you are familiar with, Mr. Montague. A very small tunnel connects certain important locales in the city.
Are any of those places that Monty has found already and hidden things in?
You have found little nooks and crannies, but you have not found anything like what she's describing. You've noticed that the people that you spend time with in the library, they all come through the front door.
Okay.
And she says, now, if there are any friends waiting for you at the end of that secret passageway, I will ensure that the guards and other criminals... I will ensure that the guards find other criminals to chase for the day.
Where do we find you when the job's done?
Why, my residence.
Cool.
The Monada lands will be open to you.
Great.
And should everything be amenable to you, you can find yourself a room there.
Neat. Ugh.
It pays well to have friends.
And you expect us to pull this off in one go?
Why, yes.
I mean, that's how heists usually go, right?
You're all rather talented. There are enough of you to make a difference, but not too many to attract unwanted attention. And from what I have managed to glean, and I have a good eye for this sort of thing, you are all rather talented in your particular fields.
Okay.
Cool. Reagan's up.
Fine.
And I will say this mostly to you, Mr. Pensmith. I would recommend that you don't try any clever decisions this time. Well, subterfuge and deception won't go well for you.
You said there are, like, documents on the table. Are we supposed to take them or sign them? Like, is it...
No,
It's
no,
an
there
NDA.
are. No, they're still documents, one directly in front of each of you.
Okay, cool. Reagan takes that. I just wanted to make sure she wasn't walking away without signing, you know, the paper that got her money.
No. It seems like this is something that you look at, like, off the table.
You got it.
Let me, So, I'm sending you each, I'm sending each of you what is in your particular thing. So you can choose to share these if you desire.
Yeah.
But if not, then...
Got this feeling.
So, with that, the Lady Anastasia stands, nods to you, and turns and walks away.
Cool. Reagan's gonna head down that side door, out the side door? Was it a hallway or a door?
There's a hallway, and then we have to, like, pull on a sconce, and it'll make it a door.
Cool. Reagan's going that way.
I assume the others follow?
Yeah, Breaka follows.
Reagan is reading her thing as she walks and says, "Hey, his wife's home. She's tired.
Okay.
Looks like she expects us to do this now, so figure we're working together." And she shoves the paper into her pocket. I assume they didn't take her pockets.
No, they did not take the pockets.
Thank you.
Andrew, clarification on my thing. Was I given that item?
Yes, it is wrapped up inside the scroll.
Okay.
And it is a small ring with a signet.
Spoilers.
Yeah, Monty holds up, like, it's still wrapped in fabric and says, I have to leave this in the residence. And I guess I'll make a show of it if I can, but if I can't, whatever. It's not actually too horrifying. I just need to leave this there.
Okay.
Brika is going to fold up her piece of paper and shove it into a deep pocket and just mutters sort of, I don't like this.
Reagan shrugs. And it's a job.
Are you okay?
Fine. I'm fine.
'Cause I totally understand secrets and everything. Just as long as it's not threatening your health or your well-being.
No. It's I just don't trust this Anastasia.
I don't trust her either.
She hates Erwin. He's an asshole.
Generally, a good rule of thumb with nobles is, as someone who walks among them more often than he cares to, don't trust them as far as you can throw them.
You don't have to tell me twice.
Are we at the sconces?
Yes, you four have reached the sconces.
Such sconces.
Reagan very definitively pulls on the third one.
There is a click, click.
Someone should probably oil this. And she walks through. And she's just gonna keep going because just like she's having a good day. She got a job. Honestly, you know.
It's all coming up, Reagan.
Yeah, I mean, like, she assaulted, like, 5 dudes, I think I said. So, considering that, and she got thrown in prison, and now this is turning out to be a really good day for her.
Yeah, really good day for Reagan.
Yeah.
Reagan's good day.
She beat up some guys, she broke out of prison, and she got a really good job.
And made fun of a nerd!
Yeah, so, like, honestly, she's having a good time. I assume Flatfoot's still with us, or did he leave?
No. He is with you. He's just very, very quiet.
So, Flatfoot,
Yes?
how's the broken jaw feeling?
It'd take more than that to break my jaw, I'm afraid.
Oh, so it's not broken. So you're good?
Something like that.
Cool. She keeps walking. She was gonna apologize if it sucked, but he said he's fine, so, you know.
Is all our junk here in this hallway?
After walking for maybe like 100 feet, you come to some stairs up, and at the foot of those stairs, everything that was taken from you by the guards is sitting there.
Cool.
My book! And Monty runs up and picks up this book that is absolutely fucking enormous. It's probably like a good 27 inches across, and he hugs it to his chest, and it like envelops most of his torso because he's so tiny and his book is so large, and he slings it across his back. It's got like a ribbon coming out of the spine, like where you mark the pages with, and he like ties it around himself, and it hangs at his back like a messenger bag.
So you like books?
I like this book. This is a good book. This book helps me kill people.
I mean, he said you hang out at a library and stuff, so I figured like maybe in general. But oh, so you're like a magician, like a wizard guy?
Yes, and now I am much more confident in my ability to do absolutely fucking anything. Yes. Okay, my book is back. Now we just need to get my money, and then we can keep going.
Which you do owe us some of that money, Mr. Moneybags. I do expect.
I know, but my money is in the library, and we have to get to the library.
Okay, cool. I'm just saying, I expect to be paid for Brika's work.
Oh, no, I'm not gonna short you. We have to get to it. I
Alright.
squirreled it away, like a squirrel or something.
Alright.
Okay. After walking, so you guys you go up a good 30 feet or so up, and this passage is on an angle. So you're going 30 feet up, 30 feet further, and then you come to sort of stop, and there is a door in front of you.
Alright.
Upon opening it, you find yourselves in a nondescript alleyway within the city.
My favorite kind of alleyway.
Yes.
This alleyway had legs in all the right places.
Do I know where I am, Andrew?
Roll an investigation check for me.
17.
Right. You are able to see. You notice a few things. You notice the clock tower. You can see further down. From where you are, you can see further down to the kind of like the valley, like the lowlands, like outside of the city to the northwest, where the muster grounds are, where the various like sort of military forces are beginning to be gathered. And you see the Grand Library, maybe 10 blocks south of you.
Lovely. Okay, that's where we're going, and we're going to get to that big building over there. Southward.
Cool. Yeah, Reagan was gonna stealth.
Stealth.
Oh no, that's a 1. She's not stealthing anywhere.
Clonk, 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 clonk.
So just so y'all know, while you were getting your stuff, Nimian pulled on a set of flint mail, and he has splint mail. Apologies. And he has a very, very large greatsword, which he slides onto his back, and you can see now better in the light that he is half-elven. He has these slightly tapered ears. So Reagan, you are not particularly stealthy.
Nope.
Those of you who are stealthy manage to keep to the shadows, but
Reagan's just walking around like she owns the place.
Yeah, Reagan is not stealthy. Reagan just walks forward, making no attempt to hide who she is or where she's going.
Nope.
You manage to reach the Grand Library without any particular problem.
Take that, natural one. Nailed it.
So it's late in the afternoon as you approach. Technically, the library is open at all hours, which you would know that, Monty. But despite that, it's like this is the time when people when it starts to wind down. A lot of people leaving, just a few going in for the to get like ready for the night shift. So this is probably a good time for you to be going in, honestly.
Excellent. Okay, so straight through the front doors, no worries about anything, because this is basically where Monty lives now. I mean, it is where he lives now. And he is going to hunt down one of his hiding places.
Yeah, which hiding place are you looking for?
The painting of the stuffy academic is probably the closest to the front of the library, so I'm going to go for that one, because that one has the most gold behind it, I think.
Okay, sure. Yes, you... So as you approach, you notice 3 things. One, you notice there is an old little man sitting further down, and you recognize him. His name is Bertrand. He is a halfling. He has just this white shock of hair that stands straight up, and what he thinks is a very handsome mustache. He is sitting there researching one of his various pet projects, as you know he is wont to do. The other thing that you notice that the portrait, the place where you had stashed the money, there are 4 dangerous guards standing around it.
The same guards?
No, different guards. They look kind of happy to be standing up here, or kind of like not like thrilled to be standing up here, but they're like shifting a bit, but they're actively keeping an eye on things.
Are they actively guarding the painting or just standing near it?
They're standing in like just all 4 of them sort of arrayed around it, like facing out.
Reagan walks up to him.
Oh no.
Sup? Is that like a really fancy painting? She doesn't know what's back there.
One of the guards says, "Parent fucking Lee. We're supposed to be watching this for God knows what reason."
That sucks.
Yeah. They got like 20 of us spread out at different points in the library to keep an eye on something. It's a fucking library. Who's gonna steal a fucking book?
Yeah, I hear. Aren't they free? It's a library. Anyway, listen. I'm sure you guys don't even want to be here. Do you want me to handle this for you for a minute? I mean, I can't help your other guys, but I can probably guard a fucking painting.
Look, I appreciate that, but we really can't.
Okay. No, I was just gonna,
Boss it out my ass and then some. Mostly and then some.
Yeah? Who do you work for?
Can't really say.
Okay, no, I get it.
This isn't strictly on the books, you know?
Oh, yeah, no, I know how it is.
Nothing on paper, you know?
So are these guys, they're like city guards, or are they mercenaries?
So they are dressed as city guards, but they have a harder edge to them.
Okay, so mercs.
Yeah, you recognize people who've seen combat, and a lot of the city guards haven't. They're kind of softer folk for the most part. They deal with like petty criminals.
Would Reagan kind of know that?
These dudes are like
she's like been around.
Yeah. Oh, no, yeah. Reagan knows the difference between... Reagan especially knows the difference between a city guard and a merc.
Okay, cool.
These are mercs.
Okay, cool. Listen. And she kind of just lowers her voice a little bit, kind of conspiratorially. She's like, I can see you guys know your way around. And I mean, I'm always looking for good work. Because the reason I want to know who you're working for is I'm just trying to network here, you know.
Roll a persuasion check.
Oh, Reagan is just dripping with charisma here. And, oh, actually, she does have proficiency at, it's a 21.
Okay. Yeah, he pauses and says, I'm not really supposed to say, but Lady Manada paid us personally, right?
Oh.
10 silver a day to just fucking stand here.
Just fucking stand there.
Yeah. Yeah. As far as I'm concerned, it's a pretty good rate, so...
Yeah, no kidding.
Monty
Yeah.
heard that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no kidding. That's a great gig. You know, I hear she's got some, political opinions. She doesn't know what they are, but she knows that she has them. She's like running for student council president or something.
I just need everyone. I'm
Yeah.
walking down. I need to be the mayor of everything. Everyone needs to like me so much.
Yeah, well, when you go to the nearest bar, every single jerk's got someone they're voting for, or someone they're trying to support. It's just...
Yeah, no, I
know.
get it. I mean, I might look her up, because that sounds like a pretty easy gig. No offense. Not gonna lie.
Look, you didn't hear it from me, okay?
Oh, of course not. I don't even know your name.
But she's always looking for talent, it seems like. And you seem like you know your way around a sword.
Tell me about it. Just got one of those faces.
Yeah, well, and look, you know, a lot of the nobles are, they're starting to, you know, they're starting to gear up, put the personnel. Dangerous types, you know, not just your run-of-the-mill mercs like us.
Right.
I'm talking, you know, some like wizards.
Oh, magicians.
You know, cold fucking killers. Like, some heavy shit, you know?
Yeah, I know. That's,
It's pretty spooky. I mean, honestly, if I wasn't being paid, I'd get the fuck out of the city right now. Ever since that fucking, what's his name started making moves.
Uh-huh.
I mean, look. Come on. The guy just shows up at a fucking ball, kills one necromancer, and suddenly he's the fucking champion of the city? Give me a break. I mean,
Oh, yeah?
yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of new in town. Who was that? That sounds like someone I want to steer clear of.
This fuck named Rufus.
Rufus? That's a dumb name.
Yeah. Apparently, this Rufus the Just, he's got all the nobility eaten out of his hand now. But what I want to know is, you know, why was he even at the ball in the first place? And he just happens to land the final blow? Some guy no one's ever heard of? Something stinks, if you ask me.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you can never fucking trust nobles.
No, well, granted, he's not a noble. From what I hear, he was just a soldier.
But was he?
Yeah?
I mean, I'm just saying, you never know with these guys.
But, look, I'm just saying it's... Apparently, did some time. You know, a couple stints here and there, but he's been gathering his own posse of weirdos over at this fucking residence.
Huh. What do you know about that? Rufus, you said his name was?
Rufus. Yeah, Rufus the Just. Everyone knows where the fuck he lives.
Yeah, apparently. Huh.
Look, I'm sorry. I gotta
Oh,
get
yeah,
back to
no,
this.
sorry, dude. Yeah, you're good.
Monty's gonna, like, slide into this conversation. Hi.
Who the fuck are you?
Oh, this is my,
Who the fuck am I, indeed?
I used to work for him.
I happen to hear that you feel underpaid, overworked.
Overworked? No, this is the cushiest gig I've ever seen.
Yeah, neither of those things, actually.
Get your ears checked.
Listen, okay, so maybe you're not underpaid, but would you like to be more paid?
I mean, he just hired me for a job. Well, he hasn't paid me yet, but...
I know, I'm getting to that.
I mean, it was only like 10 minutes ago, so...
Look, kid, I'm sure you got a lot of copper socked away somewhere, but,
I'm offering 5 gold pieces.
Right. Sure. Alright. Alright.
I really, really want to give you 5 gold pieces to move from in front of this painting and let me get my money.
Bye.